This video we're going to cover brokers, and there are really only two brokers that I would consider recommending. I obviously use both of them, one to a greater extent than the other, but I have tried only one other broker besides this, which was International Brokers, and they basically only had a standalone Java app, which was pretty terrible, at least on my computer, and I wasn't able to even configure it properly, and I wasn't even able to have it save my very limited configuration options, not to mention trade on it. And it does have the advantage that you can trade stocks on other exchanges other than US exchanges, so you have direct access to Asian exchanges, for example, which is the reason why I opened it. But it was more trouble than it was worth, and I ended up just pulling out my money and going back to the other two that, like I said, I recommend. So these are the two brokers that I would recommend, and they both have the simulated trading as specified up here, or paper money trading, which it is called. One of them is TDAmeritrade, which is right here, and we will probably look into some screenshots of the other broker, which is Etrade. Now, they both have these standalone Java apps, and they have their web interface. But in the case of the standalone Java app, I do not recommend the Etrade one, but I do definitely recommend, and this is probably the standard for trading and analysis amongst retail traders. The Java app that TD Ameritrade uses, or has, or created, is called Thinkorswim. It's incredibly popular. You can find videos of it and how to use it and all its different features all over the web. And they have a lot of education network resources that you can find online, webinars, recorded videos, and other such things. You are able to trade through their website platform, but for more advanced option trading, you probably want to use this Java app. You open it and you select paper money, and basically I've never selected paper money, to be honest. They have a paper money option online as well. I use the regular one, but because I opened this in the paper money account, I guess you get 200, or maybe this actually brought in, let me see, maybe this brought in what I did in my paper money option account way back when. So I guess you accept and proceed. And let me just check real quick. Monitor all products, trade. I gotta say, I'm not sure. I don't. No, this is empty. I mean, unless I had stuff in there, because I don't really see why it would start with 201,718.57. It probably started out with 200,000. And as I was playing with it, I made 1,718.57, which was great because it was not real money. But trust me, that all changed very quickly as soon as I started using the real money. So the cool thing about this, and the same as with E-Trade, is that you can, you can go ahead and chart, which is probably the most popular feature on any trading platform. You can chart your tickers, you can analyze, you can draw on them very easily. You can save, you can share these as well. There was a share here around somewhere. I'm just not, here it is, sorry. So you can share this, and you can post it in different different social media as well. And you have access to news, the latest news, and the TDAmeritrade channel, which is really awesome. I watch this every day. I really recommend it. It's got some really good material. That's Nicole Petalides. They've got Oliver Rennick. They've got Kevin Hinks, Ben Lixon, a bunch of analysts that are really, really good. They know their stuff, and they also interview people. I believe this is also available on some of those online streaming services. So this is a great little sidebar. But the main bar is just the analysis, and you can throw on a whole bunch of different studies. All these studies that we have gone over, or you could go over on different YouTube channels. I mean, they're all here. The momentum, the moving averages, the volume profiles, they're all in here. You can save the way things look. You can mess around with how many charts you want on the screen at the same time if you're into that sort of thing. And you can also research, like if you want, let's say that you actually want, let's see here. No. It is actually, it's in the Analyze tab is what I'm looking for. No, it's not. Let me see. A little bit lost here. This is not looking too good for me, is it? Analyze fundamentals. There we go. So let's say that we want to analyze AMD. So you can look at not just its technical data, but you could also look at the fundamentals of this company. Sorry, that didn't take. There it is. Okay, so you can see a lot of information, the analyst ratings. You can see a small snapshot of what the company does, a small snapshot of its chart, and you can see its data, which is really awesome because you can find out what these companies, where they really make money, the different revenue streams, the composition of their revenue and profits, and their financial ratios, as well as dividends if they pay out dividends. It's very, very complete. So you, like for example here AMD, you can break down what it is that they make money off of. So they make money off of embedding enterprise, and they also make money off of selling the actual computer chips for probably lower end systems, not enterprise ones. So this is a really good system, and you can even trade right off of a chart. So for example, let's say we go over here to AMD. You can actually trade right out of here. You can buy or sell or buy custom, with your stop limit orders, or your one order cancels the other. You can create alerts and stuff. You can even make this thing patterns, identify patterns. So I have it set up so that it will show certain patterns if it recognizes them. I guess it's not recognizing any patterns right now, but also probably because this is, let me see what, that's not the ticker I wanted. Apple is the ticker I wanted. There we go. This is a very, very nice trading platform. It even gives you dividends, stock split, earnings information right down here. And it's very easy to, basically move around the time frames. If you want to drop between the daily or the 15-minute, the 30-minute, the 1 hour, the 4 hour, you can go weeks, for longer time frames, a 3-year time frame on a weekly. There it is. So it's very easy to use. You can trade right off of the platform, which is really good. This up here, messages, support, chat rooms, I don't use that. I don't believe this is the strong suit. I've posted some stuff in there, and they never answer. In chat rooms as well as support. Support through here is probably not very good. I don't think I've ever received an answer through here. But they do have pretty good support if you go online to their website. Okay, so that's if you want to trade, right off the chart. If you want to trade stocks, if you want to look at options, you come over here to the this trade tab is where you've got basically your options chain for the different ticker. You got your volume, your spread information, and it gives you really awesome options information for what the current IV rank. Where is it? This is the IV percentile. There it is, the 12%. The volatility for this particular stock, and it gives you all sorts of information about the calls, puts ratios, and sizzle index, etc. So this is, I'm not going to go through the whole thing. It's not how to use TOS, Thinkorswim. This is basically one of the tools that you can use if you're going to be trading, and it is highly recommended. Here is the Etrade experience. So they have a platform on the web, which is this one back here, and you can launch the Power Etrade, which is also web. It's not Java based. They do have a Java based, which is the Etrade Pro. I do not recommend it. It is probably just as buggy as the International Brokers platform, but the TDAmeritrade web platform is not that good, Power Etrade is way better. But then again, TD Ameritrade, that's why they have the standalone Java, which is pretty much the best standalone platform out there. Okay, so you launch the Power Etrade from your account from here. They also have the paper trading, which I have never launched, so I guess that's why I'm not showing a launch button there, but a sign up. So here is the deal with the web platform for Etrade. I do like it, but I don't use it. I use the mobile platform most of the time because I'm on the move a lot, I guess. So the deal is that here is the main window, and the reason why I have it, well, I guess I can stretch it out a little bit more. I was just going to show you the launch options on the web back there. But the reason why I have it, and I don't even open it all the way out, is because you can't really modify it as much, I guess, as the Thinkorswim one. So it does have similar tabs up here. You can go to your account. You can go to markets, right? And so it's got the little sub tabs down here, the same as with the account. You've got a little market view on the markets right here. You've got the calendar of economic events and whatnot, reporting earnings, and you do have your trading. So here is your main chart. And again, if you want to trade from here, it's not as intuitive as a right click on the chart. This actually doesn't bring, because it's not a Java standalone program, it doesn't, the right click doesn't bring you a application specific submenu. It pops up the Google Chrome specific or submenu, which is no good because we can't do anything with that. So if you want to trade off of this chart, you can from here, and you click here and it'll bring up your little order ticket, which is kind of cool. Order ticket takes a little bit getting used to. You got to switch between a lot of drop downs, if you want to go stock or options, if you want to go buy, sell, call, put, limit, markets, whatever. So this is the order ticket here. And here's the thing. Two main issues I have with this. Three, actually. I didn't show it, but it does take a while to load. I don't know if my internet is bad. I think it is specifically bad today, but it's not as fast and fluid as Thinkorswim is. That's issue number one. Issue number two is the drawing tools, and I will get to that in the end. Issue number three is that you have this chart here, and if you want to trade and then go look at your portfolio but still be looking at a chart the way you are able to do with Thinkorswim, then you actually have to move over to account, and then you're no longer seeing the chart. You can mess around with these widgets, and it does let you add stuff, but none of the options you can add is a chart, so you can't move around the rest of the app and keep this chart in view as you can with Thinkorswim. So that's one of the main reason that I don't like, this web version of the trading platform, is that I cannot have all the things on the same screen that I want, which is why I need to have this screen open up halfway. Why? Because if I want to go to account, then I need to have my account open on this window, which is the main window. This is the window that opens when you launch it. If you want to see this chart and keep it within view, you have to pop out this chart like so. Remember, your main window is still back here, and actually you don't have to, or you can't even have it like that. You kind of have to have them offset a bit so that at any point in time you can see both of them, so this way I can keep my chart here and I can still trade from here, but like, look at this. You pop that and you click on it, and you think that nothing happened, but it's because it popped up the order ticket on the main window. So anything you do on this sub window actually gets called on the main window, which is a big disadvantage. So the two window system I am not thrilled about. Yes, I guess you could do it from here if you wanted to, but I just don't like to do so because I like to have a bigger chart, bigger than this, and I guess there's just more things that you can do on Thinkorswim, more indicators that you can add, and it doesn't look as clumped up as it does here. So that's reason, or issue number two. Issue number three is a little bit more important, and it's all these drawing tools. So you have to come over here to select a drawing tool. I like to, I'm very into raise lately, and so the thing with raise is that if you want a quick access to array, then you're like, okay, so I want to draw it here. You click on it once, and then you stretch it out here. If you're lucky, you get it straight and you don't have to line it up. But if you don't, then this happens, and then you have to be lining it up, which is kind of it's kind of a pain. And the other thing is, if you want to delete it, then you have to hover over it and then right click to delete, which is a problem when you have a lot of indicators and lines and drawings on around the same area. It gets really hard to delete the right one. In this case, there's only one, so that's not a problem. But if I want to draw that ray, I guess I could double click real quick and then see what happens. It doesn't draw it straight. I mean, it doesn't draw it horizontal. It draws it vertical, which is obviously no good. So to get the horizontal one, you do have to click once, and you have to move over to the side a little bit. And sometimes you don't move straight. Sometimes you do this, or that, and then it doesn't work. So that's the main disadvantage with these drawing tools, that if you don't line them up correctly, then you end up with a ray in the completely wrong direction. Now, the other main issue I have with this is that even if you do get it in the right direction, there, see? You have to line it up, and then it's a problem. If you try to do it too close to the origin, then it's harder. If you move farther away, it's easier. I don't know. I'm trying to get it straight here, honestly. There, I think that's it. So I got it straight, okay? And remember, I have my main window back here. So let's say I'm doing stuff, I'm looking at the options chain over here, and I'm like, okay, so now I know that my swing is going to be my stop loss, and so that's what I'm going to set as, whatever. And then you click here, and obviously it's going to bring the order ticket here. But here's the thing. You got two windows open. All right. If you do not close this in the right order, you're going to be in trouble. Because here's what happens. You have to close the main window first. And of course, that's going to close the secondary window. If you close the secondary window first and then launch it, your drawings and everything you have in here, all your studies that you've added, all the the drawings, the fibs, which are in here somewhere, the fib right there, everything that you have on here is going to be lost. So here's my ray. If I close the secondary window, and then I go and I close that window, which is the main window, then when I launch it again, here's the main window, and because I closed the secondary window first, there, that took a while. So because I closed the main window first, then my secondary window has disappeared. If I come over here to the chart, it's gone. Whatever I had on there is gone. It's no longer there. If I pop this out, there's the secondary window. It's still gone. Now this time, just so that, let me get a couple of horizontals in here. Let's say that I add this and I add that. Okay, and then I want to close this, but I don't want to lose my information. Then I have to close, not the secondary window first, I have to actually close the main window. Now that I close the main window first, I relaunch it, and this time it launches the main window, which is whatever this is, Launchpad H2O, whatever that means. That's always there, and it's taken a while. See, I don't know, something's wrong with my internet today. So it's launching the main window, and because this time I did it right, there. So it launched my main window, which is back here, you can see it, and here's my secondary window, and there are my horizontal lines. Okay, so you don't want to close this secondary window or you basically lose everything. You want to close this. So those are the three main issues I have with this. Number one, the two window system, which sometimes the second window gets hidden behind, which is why I need to have a second, third monitor. Okay. Number two is that when you're drawing, these tools are hard to get to. They're, you can't favorite them or whatever. And this window in here is not as comfortable to see and use. Yes, you can collapse this, but then you lose view of everything else. So, what's the point in that? But all of these indicators start to get bunched up, and it's really hard to keep track of, especially because it can't be a full-size window because you want to keep access to your other window unless you have more than one monitor. And number three, because if you do close the secondary window and then the main one, you basically lose all your work. So as for charting, this is my least favorite tool by all means. So let's go ahead and look at the best tool for charting. Okay, so here is the best tool for charting. It's TradingView. It's got free plan and it's got paid plans. The free plan is what I use. I don't really need or have needed so far, but the other ones give you more options. And one of the main, I guess, drawbacks of having the free plan is that you can only use three of the particular indicators at the same time. It does give you the volume one for free, so that's not one of them, but the volume profile and the moving average over here and the MACD are the three ones that I'm using right now. If I wanted to use a different one, if I wanted to add another one, I select it. I'm going to get a pop-up window that says, sorry, you're on the basic, you only get three. What I usually do is I eliminate or remove one of the other ones and replace it with the one I want. All right, so I believe this is the favorite one. I don't want that. Okay, so the reason why I like this a lot is because it's very fluid. You can move around between time frames. You can basically shrink or stretch your window. You can move between your daily, your hourly, your minutes just as fast, if not faster. And you can favorite tools, drawing tools. For example, I have my favorite ones here. They're when I'm trying to chart something really quickly, it calls my attention to the yellow star, and I know that that is the horizontal ray that I want. And then I come over here and I double click, basically. Oops, there it is. Okay, it's straight. I don't have to fuss with it. It gives me my own little toolbar specific to this item that I drew. I can select the color, the width, the type of dash line, which is very important when you're trying to differentiate lines that you drew on different time frames. If you want to get even faster, you can come over here to settings and save them as a specific template. So not on this account, but on my other account, what I usually do is what I have is that I have for dailies or anything bigger, I have the solid white line, and then when I get into the hourly or minutes, then it changes to a dashed line. So that helped me identify what time frame a specific line belongs to. This one, to be honest, I'm not sure what all these different lines, these must be old lines. I haven't visited this chart in a while. You've got a lot of tools over here. You got the very popular Fibonacci ones, obviously the retracements. You can draw circles and rectangles for your zones and whatnot. You can draw paths, which is pretty cool, and it's pretty much a free hand path. This is really, I use this quite a bit. I actually used this in a previous video. That's why there is a call out here already made to bot shares. Basically, you just select it, and then you can change whatever you want in it. You can double click it as well if you want to get into the text and the different colors. And that's not, if I would have bought there, I would have been pretty disappointed. That was just an example, luckily. You have different patterns like head and shoulders and the drive patterns and the triangles. This is one of my favorite tools in TradingView. Your short or long position basically will let you mark in one fell swoop, where you entered the trade, what your stop loss was if you had one, which you should always have one, and what your target is as well, because you should always have a target. And that'll help you very quickly visualize not only your risk to reward ratio, but when you should get out, whether because it went the wrong way or the right way. So that's really cool. The long and short, you can also use them for the short. You're also able to quickly measure. So if you get like a cup and handle, which there isn't one around here, or a flag or whatever, if you see one, then you can quickly measure. Okay, so from this high point to this low point right here, you're talking about 18.65. So then you can start using that measurement for your stop losses or your targets. And the other really cool feature, one of the coolest ones that I use a lot, is that you can either save it as an image, you can share it as a link, or you can tweet it. You can share it as a link. Sharing as a link is important because if you share it with people that have TradingView, then you get a more editable chart on their side. And there's a lot of other things. You could do obviously you could create your watch list and set your alerts. You can only set one alert on the free version, but you can also connect it to a trader, to a broker. I don't do that just for security reasons, but you could if you wanted to, and you can trade right off of TradingView. I only use it as a charting tool because it is better way better, in my opinion, than both Etrade and TDAmeritrade as a charting tool, something that'll save your analysis, save your comments, and share them as well. But I don't trade on it. All right, so I hope you enjoy this and see you in the next video.